Between January to June of this year, I've gotten on about 100 of consultation and coaching calls with tons of expats all over China, and I've gathered all of the most common problems that they usually deal with as regards to their fitness, as regards to their health and wellness, and pretty much weight loss goals. And those problems and those challenges pretty much revolve around the topics of weight gains, lack of energy and fatigue, digestive issues, joint pain, sleep issues, and pretty much discipline and mindset too. And today I'm going to give you all of the best solutions that I typically give to those people that I work with so that you can change and solve all of those problems in the next 1, 2, 3 months. Firstly, why should you listen to me? Well, I've been working in the world of health and fitness and weight loss and pretty much wellness for now about 6 years. I've worked with, at this point, about thousands of expats all over China, as well as local people too, because I used to do both in-person training as well as online training. After doing in-person training for quite a bit of time, I merged fully into online coaching. Actually, I meant coaching, not training. And my mission is to pretty much equip my clients with the skills, the confidence, the knowledge, the tools, as well as the systems that they can implement and sustain so that they can lose the weight, get unstuck, get their body to go from fat storing to fat burn, and pretty much solve all of those problems that I've previously mentioned at the beginning of this video, and do that in a sustainable way. So today I'm pretty much going to share all that I usually discuss about on my coaching calls and consultation calls. We are going to start with the topic of weight gain. And so, this is a funny topic to me because as of today, there are literally billions of search results on Google whenever it comes to weight loss, whenever it comes to dieting, whenever it comes to, finding tricks to pretty much allow us to lose weight. But ironically, the rate of obesity in the world is also increasing. So, this prompts us to look deeper. And this is actually really my way of looking at things whenever I onboard new clients. Whenever someone comes to me telling me that they want to lose weight, I typically like to ask them not the diet or the workout program that they've done. Yes, sure, I usually ask that sometimes, but this is more of a surface level question. But the deeper questions that I ask are pretty much, what do you think have caused you to not be able to stick to the program? What do you think were the reasons why your body did not respond to that program that you follow? What do you think are the mental blocks that you have and that stop you from actually sticking to the program? This means that the main issue that I usually have whenever it comes to coaching people on their weight loss journey is not necessarily the fact of finding what program works, but it's pretty much the fact of ensuring sustainability, ensuring practicality, and ensuring that we can actually really apply this thing in real time, as a daily life thing that will not feel too much of a hassle. Because that's the truth, in my demographic of people that I work with is typically, the teachers, the diplomats, the high executives, the GMs of hotels, of international branches. And those people, we are used to say that time should never be an excuse for a goal that you have. But I believe for a certain group of people, and mostly the people that I've helped, time is actually a real problem. I've had people who were literally, because this is what I do whenever I start coaching clients, I have them send me their schedule, their daily habits, and pretty much how they go about their time. I see some schedules that are full of things that are actual real life priority and that they cannot move around. So, the way that I usually approach and coach those people is by learning and teaching them to make very minimalistic, non-invasive, and easy to sustain kind of changes, which brings us to the topic of how to lose weight when you lack of the time, when you lack of the motivation, when you pretty much are fucking tired of doing diets. Because let's be real, with all the diets that exist out there, it's they work, okay, diets work, but you also need to think of the fact that a diet is a lifestyle. So if, for example, you chose to go into some form of keto diet or intermittent fasting diet, you will lose weight, obviously, by ways of cutting out carbs from your diet, and you'll lose weight by ways of putting yourself into a certain eating versus fasting window. And guess what? The way you'll have to keep that weight off long term is to turn that diet into a lifestyle that you can sustain forever. So this is a question I like to ask people whenever you are about to start a diet. Do not just think of the results that you will get after 2, 3, or 6 months of doing the diet. Ask yourself if this diet right here and if the settings that it is trying to implement in your life are things that you can sustain long term. Okay, so this brings us to the non-diet way of dieting that I usually teach to people. So something that I start with whenever a client comes into my coaching program, I don't give out any plans. I don't tell them, hey, this is what we're gonna do, this is gonna be the adjustments. I start by running them through what I call a food recall first, a self-assessment week, to be super specific. What I do in that self-assessment week is to pretty much just tell them to track all of the food that they ate every day, and to be super honest, to not try to impress me at all, and to pretty much just show me like, hey, if you eat pizza on every Tuesday, that's fine, write it down. I'm not gonna be the type to scold or judge. That's the last thing that I do in my coaching program. If you go out and drink on this day, please write that down. We are going to work on that. Then what happens is I get a whole week full of food. Okay, and then what we do with that self-assessment track sheets is we pretty much look at what we can improve and not necessarily what we can take out. This is the big mistake that people make, which gets them to already hate their diet from the beginning, and which already creates the dieting pressure, and which already is a silent mind fuck, which is really only a matter of time before they give up and pretty much crash out and gain the weight all the way back. Is the fact that they start their diet with a mindset of elimination, restriction, interdiction, prohibition, instead of simply starting the diet with a mindset of optimization. So if, for example, I see someone's diet and I see that in the morning they eat bread and they eat let's say strawberry jam, what I do is typically I don't take away the bread or the strawberry jam. I'm like, I want you to keep eating that same breakfast, but I want you to add some form of eggs. I want you to add some form of protein. I want you to add some form of healthy fats too. I want you to add some form of fibers via fruits, so that the breakfast will stay the same, but we would pretty much now, in addition to eating what they like, they will start eating what they need. Because sometimes the real mistake and the thing that is really happening right now is we don't have a dieting problem per se. The reason why people don't see the results is not because there is a problem in the diet that they choose, but there is a problem in the diet that they currently have. There are deficiencies, there are lagging points, and there are tons of suboptimal choices that if you only replace and make some swaps and optimize what you currently have, you will be in a very good place. And that's typically how I usually help my clients lose their first 5 kg in the first 5 to 6 weeks, by replacing what they have and not necessarily by taking out or placing any sort of restrictions or prohibition around their current food intake. It's pretty much look at what they have and find swaps, find healthy things to implement. And now, the fact of looking at someone's diet and approaching it from a mindset of optimization, it does sound like you are going to be adding more on top of their food, which then risks of putting them into a caloric surplus. But two things to keep in mind is that when you eat more and an additional amount of the right things, your body will thank you for it. This is what I like to say. When you eat the right things, your body always reacts in the right way. Let's take for example the example of protein foods. The fact of eating more protein food actually makes your body burn more calories through digestion. So this is actually fun when you think of it, because the fact of eating something actually makes you burn more calories. The fact of eating more carbohydrates, all right, it can seem like a bit of a trick, just the way I said it, but the fact of eating more carbohydrates, more specifically the whole nutritious carbs, the non-processed carbs, will regulate your appetite, and will make you less likely to eat bullshit carbs, which we know bullshit carbs have a lot of calories, yes, less nutrients. So by eating the right carbs, which have less calories and a lot of nutrients, you are effectively going into a caloric deficit just by ways of swapping food. So this is why it's so powerful to look at your diet and to ask yourself, what are the healthy ways and what are the healthy changes that I can make here. So in order for you to lose weight, really the only thing that you would have to do, go through a whole week first. Write down all the foods that you eat. Be super honest with yourself. Do not aim to change anything yet. I always stress this aspect right here with my clients. Do not try to change anything to your diet. Eat it like it was the usual time, and then look for swaps. Okay. When you see this diet and when you see here chicken thighs, maybe you can go for chicken legs. When you see here that you usually have porks, maybe you can switch for steak. When you see here that you usually have pasta, maybe you can switch for rice. When you see here that you usually have let's say French fries, maybe you can switch with fried potato, because this is a universal truth. For all the food that we eat, there is always a healthy alternative, a lower calorie alternative, and there is an alternative that we will like as much as this food right here, and that will actually be conducive of weight loss, of health improvement, of gut health, of the results that we are looking for. So this is going to be my main biggest hack for the weight loss part. And obviously, if you need more help to pretty much tailoring and building something optimized based on that self-assessment week that you have made, I can look at that for you. So do not hesitate to reach out to me through the contact info that I'm sharing below. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see it down there. If you're just listening to this, then you can add me on WeChat at the ID NF Christian. So my WeChat ID is NFCHRISTIAN, I believe. Okay, so reach out, get in touch anytime. Now, moving on to the second problem, which is the lack of energy and fatigue. And honestly, guys, if you have applied the tips and tricks of the weight loss part, and that you actually managed to optimize your diet, and if you actually manage to clean up everything that you eat, your energy is going to naturally improve as a side effect. This is guaranteed. There is so much value in the fact of going from highly processed, refined, and junk food to now eating whole, nutritious, very highly high quality type of food. What that does is it cleans up your gut firstly, and also there are tons of vitamins and minerals and nutrients in the high quality and nutritious food that is always going to be very beneficial for your levels of energy. So the fact of cleaning up your diet is going to both increase your energy as well as already help you lose weight. But another hack that I have for this one is simply the fact of seeing how much you are handling and how much you are doing in your daily life. Because the truth is, we tend to think that we are superhuman. We go for a long day of work, we wake up at 6 every day, we go to work at 7, we work until let's say 5 to 6, and then after 5 to 6 we force ourselves to go to the gym, we lift weights for 1 hour, and then we force ourselves to walk or to run on the treadmill for 1 whole hour. After that we go back home, we still have some sort of side hustles to catch up with, we catch up with family, with our kids, we play around. Then nighttime comes, we still don't freaking think of going to bed, but we still want to catch up with messages, with the last season of You on Netflix. We are effectively burning ourselves out every day. And I know that this is kind of part of life right now, but I want you to make a list of everything that pretty much you do in a day and that utilizes your energy, that drains your energy, that make you active and that make you move. All right. I want you to really write down everything. Either that is like for me, for example, if I had to think of the first 2 hours of my day, I know that what utilizes my physical and mental energy are the fact of, walking out of my bed, walking my dog, the fact of standing around the kitchen, preparing my breakfast, and pretty much already going through my messages in replying to my clients and already thinking of how my day is gonna go. You need to look at all the things, all the activities, mental and physical activities that you do in your day and write them down, because all of these activities, like it or not, and believe it or not, they already play a role in utilizing your energy, which contributes to making you super tired by the end of the day. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna write those down, and you're gonna start looking at what are the most essential ones, what are the non-essential ones. Most of the time, when I put my clients through these assignments, we realize that half of the things that they do in a day are things that they can actually put aside, things that they don't have to do every day, but things that they have just blended in their routine, thinking that it was going to make their day look more productive, while in fact it was just adding up to the burnout side of things, and it was just help playing a additional role in making them feel super tired by the end of the day. So do that first, okay? In order for you to work on fatigue, to work on the levels of energy, start to do an assessment and audit of what drains your energy every day. All right. If work drains your energy every day, there's nothing we can do about that, because work is what you do to pay your bills. So work has to stay there. But if the fact of, staying on the phone with your bestie, speaking about the latest whatever AI update, or the latest episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians is what you do every day, then I'm pretty sure you can either stop doing that, you can switch to doing that via messages, you can switch to speaking to them via messages, or you can pretty much cut the hour that you spend on the phone by half. It's crazy how much we can save a lot of time and a lot of energy by deciding and taking a strong commitment with ourselves that we are going to spend a little bit less time doing the bullshit things that we know don't serve us. You need to take a look at yourself in the mirror and understand that there are many things that you are doing right now that are not serving you and that are draining your energy without adding up and pouring into your cup, without fulfilling you. Is the harsh truth, right? Someone had to say it. You are doing tons of things that are not helping you move forward, while it is making your battery, social, emotional, mental, physical energy drain down. So in order for you to start feeling better, because also one of the reasons why we feel so tired in the morning and we feel so lazy and stressed and not looking forward to our day is because we know there's already this cloud of tasks that we know we got going on and that are waiting for us, and there's already this mental kind of turn off in our mind. The same way someone struggles to stick to a workout program because the workout program requires them to be in the gym for 2 hours while they barely have 1 fucking hour for themselves. Like, what are we doing, right? So if you know that you cannot stick to it to a 2 hours workout program, do not just give up. You just want to make the time that you spend into that workout fit to the time that you are realistically able to invest in. All right, then this is gonna alleviate the tension that you have on your mind. So working on fatigue and energy, offload the things that you do and that are not necessarily things that you need to that are the main needle movers in your life based on your specific goals. The second thing really is to pretty much just drink more water. Okay, most of you guys are not hungry, most of you guys are not tired, most of you guys are not depressed, most of you guys are not burned out, most of you guys are not in pain, most of you guys are not tired, most of you guys are just freaking dehydrated. The amount of time, and this is also something that always happens when I run my clients through their first week in my coaching program, and when I assess the level of hydration, I see more coffee, more latte, more wine, more caloric beverages, and usually water. In a best case scenario, it will be 1 liter per day. This is messed up, okay? Because all of those things that I've previously mentioned, coffee, alcohol, refined beverages, soda, these are things that only excites your tongue and stimulates you, but these all have components that contribute into making you feel tired, dehydrated, making your blood sugar crash, which then results in you making you feel even more dehydrated, making feeling more shitty, feeling more tired. And the simplest thing that you can do to actually offset the effect of those beverages, which is literally what I tell my clients, I just tell them, hey, before you go for your first pressed orange juice, whatever kind of BS at lunch, do me a favor and finish at least 1 liter of water. And the fact of actually making their drink look like a reward really motivate them to start drinking more water. And then guess what happens after they actually manage to drink a whole liter of water? They forget about their need to drink that beverage of theirs. So this is why the fact of optimizing your habits and the fact of optimizing everything that you do in a day is really powerful to allow you to eliminate and stop all of your negative habits as a side effect. Do not approach, and mostly if you are the everyday expat who already have so many things on their mind and on their plate every day, you never want your fitness journey to be something else that you're gonna have to use some additional mental bandwidth with. Your fitness journey should only be about empowering you and not over challenging you. And the best way for your fitness, your weight loss, your diet, your training journey to feel as less challenging mentally for you is to pretty much make it look like a process of optimization of your lifestyle and not a process in which you set ground rules, you set eliminations, you force yourself to do things and to eat certain things that you don't even want to. This one right here is how you fail. Simply think of your fact as, starting a relationship with someone and the person looks cute, very physically appealing, they're famous on social media, but they're a complete dickhead. And in addition to being a complete dickhead, that person tells you, hey, I don't want you to speak with this person, I don't want you to go out at night, I don't want you to spend too much money, I don't want you to wear this type of dress, etc. You know that the person has some form of status and you like them physically, but the fact of engaging and starting a relationship with that person is going to get you to sacrifice a lot of aspects of your lifestyle that you were already used to do and that you find make you kind of enjoy your lifestyle. What are you gonna do? You might stick to that relationship and compromise because that's what you do when you love someone. That's what you convince yourself that you need to do. You love someone. But let me tell you, there's a difference between compromising and sacrificing yourself, suppressing yourself for somebody else. Big difference. But I'm a health coach, not a relationship coach. So I digress. So you know that you're not gonna last or stay in this relationship and that you might literally leave right there, right after hearing all of the rules that your new partner is setting for you. So why, when it comes to a diet, you know that the diet is going to stop you from going for pizza night with your family on Saturday. You know that your new lifestyle, your new weight loss lifestyle is going to have you say no more often whenever your friends will want to hang out once a month or twice a month for a drink. You know that your diet that you're about to start is going to force you to wake up at 5 a.m. because that's the only time that you have, and that's the only time that you find to work out for 2 hours and to do the 2 hours of workout that are going to drain you for the rest of the day. You know that there are many things that you don't like about this diet, but you still do it. So don't. Okay? Optimization, not restriction.